Hey everybody out there. My name is Tommy and this is my channel, Counting on the Big Sleep. And today, since we're unemployed, we are going to the plasma center to sell plasma. Uh, you can sell your plasma up to twice a week. The process doesn't take long, maybe a couple hours. When you first go in there, when you first try and sign up for this, you have to go through a physical, make sure you're healthy and stuff. And then the payments are, you know, first 2 times you get it's $100 each. Then the next 5 times is $75 each, and then it drops down to about $60 to $65, each time you do it. So you have to decide if that's worth it for you or not. It's up to you. But since we're unemployed and we have no other income right now, so we need to make some money and head on over there. So it's just not really a long process. Like I said, it's about 2 hours. We're in there for about 2 hours. I've been doing this for a couple months now. Twice a week just to add some extra cash. But we are on our way to the plasma center. So I will see you in a few. I can't film inside the plasma center; they won't allow that. But you know, but I can show you how. I can tell you how. How you get paid. They give you a card and stuff. They put the money right on the card. And as soon as you're done donating, they ask you for your social and automatically, you'll see like a payment on there. I'll get like $65 for right now. Like I said, the first 2 times is 100. Next 5 times is 75, and then after that it drops down to about 60, 65. Now it also depends on your weight, stuff. If you're a smaller person, you might, have to donate, less plasma, so you'll get, less money and stuff. I believe that's the way that one is, But come along with the ride, and we are going to sell plasma today. Alright, sorry for the shaky camera a bit. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright everybody, you can see we're here. It's called a Acta Pharma Plasma. This is where we go to donate plasma and stuff. It's only 5 minutes away from my house. And over here, you can see these buses over there. This is the old company I used to work for. This is where the bus drivers sit sometimes and wait for calls to pick up people. But yeah, we're gonna head into the Acta Pharma Plasma Center and make a few dollars. Alright everybody, we'll be right back. Bye. Alright everybody, we just got back from the plasma center, and it went okay. I'll run you through the process. When you first go in there, they have these touch screens. You have to answer about like 25 questions about your health and stuff. And if you don't, and you don't have to do it on their computer. There's an app you can actually go to, and it'll show you. It'll ask you the same questions, and then they'll scan that little barcode at the end, so you can you go in there. After you do that, and then you go in there, you stand in line, and they first thing they do is they, prick your finger and take your blood pressure and your heart rate and everything. They check everything out real quick. This doesn't take very long. And then you will go in the waiting room and you will sit and you'll wait. Sometimes this process could take a little while. I mean, today it wasn't too bad. It only took like an hour and a half. It wasn't too bad at all. So, after they call you, and they got like all these TVs around, so they're playing these movies and stuff, so you can watch movies and everything while you're doing this, And the whole process, like I said, took about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours at the most. Extra $65 today, a little extra money, and you can do it 2 times a week. So you can make, a little more than $100, $120, $130 about, after you've gone through your first, 7 times, like I said, the first 2 times $100, the next 5 times is $75, and then it goes to 70, then it goes to $60, $65. So it wasn't really too bad. We did make a little extra money today, and the process wasn't that bad. I mean, you have to decide for yourself if you think something like this is worth it. I think it'd be worth it if it was, a little more money, but it is what it is. At least I got some gas in my car and stuff, and, normally it wouldn't be such a big deal, but, being out of work and then having the IRS come in and confiscate your checking account and your savings account and draining everything out of the bank and not working, it's like, what the fuck? Because once the government takes, it's not going to give it back to you. So, but that is one way to make some extra cash, extra money, is through the plasma center. If you need it really bad, you have to decide for yourself if it's worth it or not. Is it worth it for me? Well, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say it's worth it or not worth it. I'm just saying, I need the money, so I got to do something. I've applied for roughly over 250 jobs so far in the last 4 months. I think I've gotten less than a handful of interviews, and my health ain't the best, I guess. And, my teeth are kind of falling out, so, I think they kind of look at me like, just an old guy here, and he's not looking too healthy and not looking in the best of shape. And might disqualify me from a lot of jobs. Who knows? Who knows? I have no idea why I'm having such a hard time finding work, But that's what we did today to make some extra cash. And that's about it, really. Like I said, it's one way to make extra cash, donating plasma. Takes a couple hours, out of your day, And then you decide whether you, think it's worth it or not, Yeah. All right, everybody. You have a good night.